real issue here is that he's talking a big game about transparency, but he's not being transparent himself. This idea that Elon Musk shouldn't have to do financial disclosures like everybody else who's working in the government is ludicrous.
They're
the New York
over
Times,
the Doge website.
Also, when you pull it up, it's empty right now. And President Trump said yesterday, oh, well, he doesn't need to do it. Caroline Levitt has said he doesn't need to do it.
Why does Elon's financial disclosure remain secret?
Because nobody's looking at that. We're looking at all the corruption that's taking place.
Elon Musk is currently a, quote, special government employee who also owns companies that have billions of dollars in federal contracts. You said earlier this week that he has abided by all applicable federal laws, but what steps is the Trump administration taking to address that conflict of interest?
The president was already asked and answered this question this week, and he said if Elon Musk comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that Doge is overseeing, then Elon will excuse himself from those contracts. And he has, again, abided by all applicable laws. Elon Musk, as I've confirmed before, is a special government employee. He is filing the proper financial disclosure, and he is complying with all applicable federal laws. As you also heard, Elon addressed this directly yesterday in the alleged conflict of interest, and he said everything he's doing is very public, and if you all perceive a conflict of interest, you're welcome to bring that up. And as the president said, if he feels like Elon is engaging in something that's a conflict of interest, he will tell Elon not to do that. And Elon also said yesterday that before he moves forward with anything, he consults with the President of the United States.
Don't the American people deserve to know? He has tens of billions of dollars in government contracts. If you are the Doge master, then open up your own books. That's part of the federal government. They are spending money on Elon Musk
Rich,
and all this technology.
Fox News token liberal Jessica Tarlov tried her best to tell conservatives watching not to trust Elon Musk and take everything he says at face value. She's by no means a leftist or progressive. So hearing her echo what we've been saying since Musk started bankrolling Trump's campaign and the blatant corruption we've witnessed since is an overall net positive, since we know conservatives would never critically think about something like this.
Mr. Talcove, do you know how much money a day Mr. Musk will receive from the federal government for his contracts?
No.
The answer is $8 million a day. Just last year, Elon Musk was promised $3 billion from close to 100 contracts with the federal government. Ms. Royal, do you know how much the average person in this country who survives on Social Security, one of our seniors who's worked their entire life, about how much they have to survive on a day?
I do not.
$65 a day. We're not looking into Elon Musk's $8 million a day. This subcommittee, chaired by Marjorie Taylor Greene and the House Republicans, is looking into your grandmother's $65 a day. Let me be clear. I think we would all support taxpayer savings, look into money we might needlessly send to billionaires and big corporations, find taxpayer savings, and send it back to your hardworking family. But instead, what House Republicans and the Trump-Musk administration want to do is they want to look into your kids' lunch money, your kids' teacher's salary, into your grandparents' Social Security. They want to take that money and give it out in billionaire tax cuts, and they're talking about that in committee tomorrow. In Budget Committee tomorrow, they just released their plan. So let me be clear. When Republicans talk about government efficiency in this Congress, they're not looking into billionaires who don't pay their taxes. They're not looking into billionaires who get rich off of government contracts. They're not looking into Elon Musk firing watchdogs who are supposed to keep him accountable. They're looking at cutting your public schools. They're going straight for your Social Security. They're coming straight for cancer research. They're coming straight for the Department of Education. They're not looking at big tech. They're not looking at big pharma because those people fund their campaigns.
What I really love about his testimony is he really calls out the hypocrisy in Elon Musk trying to get rid of all this waste in federal government spending, because you, my friend, make $8 million a day from federal government contracts. For what? It ain't helping us. It ain't helping the average American. I'll tell you that much. It's helping the rich get richer. And then for the subcommittee, as he points out, to be more concerned with cutting Social Security, cancer research, the Department of Education, right? Listen, the average American senior who has worked their whole life to be in this position makes $65 a day. We're looking into that instead of Elon Musk, who makes $8 million a day. $8 million a day from government contracts. That's quite rich. The irony is quite rich there. They're going to cut things that are going to affect the average American. People that look like you and me, right? Could be your neighbor, could be your cousin. All these things are possible where they're going to harm the development of our society as a whole because they want more tax cuts for the rich. That is waste. Billionaires should not exist. If anything, we should tax them more. We already know that. Tripping. Now that you know just how much Elon Musk is leeching off the system and siphoning wealth away from American taxpayers by using the federal government as his personal piggy bank, let's take a look at this resurfaced clip from one of Trump's many speeches.
And now they want to go all-electric army tanks, okay? Do you believe? So that when we go in and blast the crap out of an enemy that we have and that we hate, and sometimes, we should be there. Many times we shouldn't be there, to be honest with you. But we blast the hell out of an enemy. We do it in an environmentally friendly way. What are we doing? And now it turns out, we make the best tanks in the world. And now it turns out that in terms of army tanks, you have to put a truck on the back of the army tank because the battery is so big, it's going to have to tow a truck. And it still doesn't go far, and it still costs twice as much, and it's not effective. But it does keep a clean environment, which is very important.
It's very interesting and more than a bit suspicious looking back on this short excerpt, given what drop site news journalists Ryan Grimm and Jack Polson have reported.
Elon Musk's Tesla is forecast to win a $400 million contract from the State Department in Q4 for, quote, armored Tesla. It is forecast to be the largest contract delivered by the State Department in 2025. Now, this is according to procurement documents that we've reviewed. You sort the spreadsheet by dollar value, and you will find here this top contract is a $400 million contract, and then you just have to bounce over to this side to find out who this is for. It's FY 2025, target award quarter. It's fourth, armored Tesla. There's another column on here that says competition, and it says TBD.
Isn't that something? According to our own government's publicly available data, this $400 million State Department contract forecast was created in December of 2024, just weeks after Trump and Musk won the election. After DropSite News published a report, which we'll link below, on February 12th, and gained national attention and coverage from legacy media outlets, this happened.
Here's that spreadsheet, $400 million contract. But when I go over to the description, it just says armored electric vehicles, nothing about Tesla. So the next thing I looked at is, well, was this spreadsheet updated recently at some point? And based on what I found, it seemed to have been updated on Thursday, 13th of February, 2025 at 2:21 GMT. So sometime between noon and 6:20 Pacific time, the spreadsheet changed. Question is this a cover-up or is this a correction?
While we can't definitively say this is a deliberate cover-up by the State Department and due to the administration's opposition to electric vehicles, conflicts of interest between Tesla and Elon Musk being a special government employee, or whatever the dorks are up to, the timing and nature of the forecasted contract is at minimum incredibly suspicious. Additionally, we must note that the Biden administration kicked off the push to replace the State Department's current fleet of armored vehicles with zero-emission electric vehicles back in April 2024. And Tesla was reportedly the only company to respond to the department's request for information. Child, who knows what's going on? Perhaps it's because Trump actually has an opposition to, the Trump administration has an opposition to electrical vehicles because they do not care about clean air. Or what I think is more likely is that this is a cover-up so that way they're able to get Elon Musk's money, but without it being linked to his company, right? So they make him happy, but it's not linked to his name. It's not linked to his company. It's crazy, man. It's wild. For Rebel HQ, I'm Chris Williamson. We'll see you next time.